NewView Essay Services is going to help you create a thesis for each of your essays. The tool has massive amounts of helps and examples so that you'll know what to do every step of the way. And once you subscribe to NewView Essay Services, you'll create and open a project file. I've already created this one, so let's open it, shall we? The first thing we're going to do is position the tool so it's easier to see on your page. You just hold down the control button, hit the plus or minus keys to adjust the size of the worksheets. That's a little small yet. I think that looks about right on my page. Then you can grab the scroll bar and move it left or right or up and down. You can also move it with the up and down arrow keys or with the track wheel on your mouse. Let me show you the three forms you're going to use to write the best thesis statements you've ever done. The first is the inventory of views and values. You identify and keep track of strong emotional things that you've observed or accepted as true in your own life on this worksheet here. The one below it is the NewView templates form, and this is where you determine whether you have a good old view, new view relationship to work with from your inventory. And finally is the NewView thesis draft form. This will help you clarify and reword your theme to create a very strong NewView thesis. So let's keep this overview very short, sweet, and to the point. I'm going to show you a couple of other features. There is a follow-up demo called Inventory, Create Your Thesis. It'll take you through the specific hands-on, here's how to do this parts. Right now, I'm going to show you one of the most useful theses, and that is the NewView star. It opens and closes from here on the menu bar. You can also close it from the little close star button right there. Either one works just fine. It has the 5 NewView options: reverse, subtract, rearrange, substitute, and add. Every time you click one of the points on the star, you get a help box. If you click add, for instance, you'll find nouns and verbs and adjectives and miscellaneous phrases that allow you to add something to what people already accept as valid. Of course, the opposite of add is subtract. Here are some transition words you can use to subtract things from the old view and get to your new view statement. Here is substitute. That's a whole group of rearranged terms there. And we'll be using a lot of the reverse, at least in the beginning. Look at all the synonyms for reverse you can use in topic sentences or paragraph support. You can use them in your introduction, or you can use them in your conclusion. You can use them in your thesis statements. Words like about face and backflow and back up. These are nouns that'll signify a reverse is happening. We've got some great verbs here. We've got back down. We've got backslide, backpedal, contradict. I like that one. Here's an unusual verb, crawfish. You'll find adjectives, adverbs, miscellaneous phrases like, oh, against the grain, or maybe have second thoughts. These are all reverses of the original position. Now, we've just handed you a tool with lots of words to signify the reverse as you're coming up with your NewView thesis statement. But if you scroll down a bit, here are examples of that NewView thesis statement using the reverse option we've been talking about. Like this one: people think of diabetes as causing a lot of pain, trouble, and hassle in everyday life. But I'm better off than my friends because diabetes makes me watch my diet, exercise regularly, even increases my popularity with girls. Probably the diet and exercise had more to do with popularity than the disease did. Well, what you have here is a great thesis statement using the reverse option. There are 12 of these statements. The private school my friend Chris goes to teaches honor and integrity to the students, but he found out the school is being investigated for tax fraud. That's a great thesis statement. I bet you could write an essay around that, couldn't you? Let's compare those 12 NewView statements using the reverse to other options available to us. Let's try the add strategy. It'll come out: people think of diabetes as causing a lot of pain, trouble, and hassle in everyday life. Actually, It's worse than they can imagine. It's ruining my social life, my academic life, and my personal life. In this version, you've added to the original old view. Suppose you decide to subtract from the old view. People think of diabetes as causing a lot of pain, trouble, and hassle in everyday life. Really, it's not as much hassle as you think, and you get used to the slight pain of the injections, so it's all very minimal. We could try that again with a substitute option. People think of diabetes as causing a lot of pain, trouble, and hassle in everyday life. Actually, though, it's a lot more pain, trouble, and hassle for my parents than it is for me. And here's how you'd rearrange. People think of diabetes as causing a lot of pain, trouble, and hassle in everyday life. Actually, though, I get a lot more everyday life because of all the hassle, trouble, and pain and the daily treatment of it. The other 11 statements are all added, subtracted, reversed, rearranged, substituted, all the way down to the bottom. 60 well-written examples of thesis statements from every angle you can think of. You see some of the power of this tool? Being able to compare what you've written to something that you know was done correctly can only make your writing better. Now, if you are new to the New View style of writing and you'd like to know more about the New View perspective, you'll find all of that here in the overview. It's not as good as reading the entire book because the overview doesn't include chapters 5, 6, or 8. Buy the book. It's not that expensive. One last feature I want to show is the Edit Notes. Comments that you save here will stay with you as long as you keep this project. Let me remind myself to do this again. Use subtract perspective next time. Missed a T there. And now as long as I hit save and close, that will be there until I don't want it there anymore, actually. You can use this for writing instructions for an essay assignment you're working on. You can remind yourself of something you need to do next. You can even record several different versions of the thesis statement you created in the project file. Just remember to click Save and Close. All the things you're going to need are pretty much contained here in the navigation bar. If you're interested in the New View essay services, let me recommend the next video you want to run is Inventory, Create Your Thesis. These examples are only part of the tool. It'll take you from the old view to the new view. Frankly, you need to try this for yourself. I think you'll agree New View Essay Services has provided the most powerful tools for writing better thesis statements and better essays than you've ever had available before.